Are you guys ready for my next hard truth? No? Okay, I'm still going to tell it to you. This is for people that are being taught that they need to stay in their marriages and stay loyal, even though their significant other, their partner, their spouse is not loving them the way they should be loved, is not putting in the same amount of work, and is slacking in the relationship. Part of the reason why I stayed in my marriage so long is because I was taught that once you get married, that, you know, even if it's hard, you're supposed to suffer through it and you're supposed to just deal with it. And I did for a very, very long time. And I tried to focus on other things so I didn't have to constantly feel the pain and the suppression that I was feeling. Okay, and that's ultimately what led to me starting to drink alcohol. Okay, because it was the only thing that could really numb it. And that was not good. It's not good at all. So what I'm going to tell you is this. So when I got married when I was 21, I still had very unhealthy thinking patterns. I still had not healed, okay? So when I married, the choice that I made was somebody that aligned, great word, with where I was at that moment, right? But then I chose to start growing and learning and working on myself and, you know, going to a therapist and, you know, I started changing and I started growing. So if you know anything about cognitive dissonance, okay, it's two contradictory thoughts that are going on and you are struggling because you're like, I believe this one, but I'm being told this one. So when you're in a marriage that's unbalanced, it's like a cognitive dissonance. And there's always going to be strife and there's going to be unbalanced emotions, treatments. So, you know, but I stayed in my marriage because I was told that, well, you just have to be a good Christian wife and you gotta deal with it, right? Well, one of us chose to put in the work and the other one didn't, okay? And what ultimately ended up happening? It was disastrous, right? I can admit that, and I'll admit as well that I didn't do everything right. So what my advice to those of you that are in those types of marriages, if you are working on yourself and you're growing and you're moving forward, and your spouse is not loving you back by choosing to put in the same amount of work, because listen, we all have to grow. If you're not growing, what did I say in my last video? You're stagnant, okay? And one person can't carry the full weight of a relationship. It takes two to tango. That's what they say. It takes two to tango. It takes two to tango to ruin a relationship. It takes two to tango to make the relationship work. So for those of you, listen, I'm going to tell you something. Consecration of a marriage does not happen with a piece of paper or with a sexual act. Absolutely not. It is a soul bond. So here's the thing. If you are married by a piece of paper, if you had sex with somebody, that doesn't mean you have to stay with them. Not if they're not willing to put in the same amount of work that you are, And so what if people judge you? You have to do what's best for you. And if staying in that relationship is working out for you, then stay. But if it's not, and it's causing you anxiety, it's causing you stress, it's causing you resentment, bitterness, that's causing you to feel stifled, that's causing you to feel suppressed, it's probably a pretty good indication you might want to start thinking about ending that mofo. Now, if you communication is key. If you have genuinely tried to sit down and communicate your emotions, not blame, not call names, and say, listen, this is going on and I'm not liking it. I really would like it if maybe we could see a counselor together. I'd really like it if we could work on this particular issue. Or, when you do this, you hurt me. If the other person is not taking heed to the communication that you are giving them, you don't have to stay in that marriage. You don't have to stay in that marriage because it's not a marriage. It's not a marriage. It's not a marriage. I know a lot of people are going to be like, Tara, I can't believe you said that. You're saying that because you're bitter. No, I'm not bitter. I'm not bitter. Not at all. I know there's a man out there that's going to be that's going to be on the same page that I am, and that's going to put in the same amount of work. Absolutely. I 100% firmly believe that. But I can't be in the position to accept that person if I'm over here in this stifled marriage now, can I? I had to learn the hard way, and I had to, it had to come to some pretty extreme circumstances before I had to walk. So don't put yourself through that. Don't put your family through that. Your children, okay? It's really obvious to those around you how your marriage is going. No matter how much I tried to put on a pretty smiley face, I had people that looked at me and they go, Tara, we saw it. We saw it. And it wasn't until after I left and the fog cleared that I was like, whoa, wow. Wow, 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 wow. So anyway, that's my second rant for today. Let's see if I can come up with a third one.